We hoist the sails on this one and quickly realize we have no steering. I make some temporary repairs and we have a great sail at nearly 8 knots. We head up to Little Farmer's Key and unfortunately find one of the trashiest beaches in the Bahamas. All right, I've been putting this off forever, but I did the other day a little bit, but I need to do some more sanding. I got 3 different sanders here. I got this little corner oscillator sander type thing. It doesn't really do very well, honestly, but it's the only thing I can get really in tight in the corners. And then I got these other sanders. This is just a drill with a, spinning sander disc on there. And then, of course, I have my orbital sander. And then I've got a belt sander. But you can only really use that on the big flat areas, which will come in handy because I'm gonna be sanding all this. So I can use the belt sander on the flat areas right here and that'll save a lot of time there. But then I'm gonna have to use the orbital on the corners, on the edges. And then, the little edge are there. I'm having to do quite a bit of by hand that you can't get any of them in. But I'm almost got them all done. I just gotta do this little section over here back. So I gotta do all the little trim work here. And then, just in the tight spaces there. And then I gotta do a finer grit, like 120 or 200, get it nice and smooth. And then I'm gonna have to tape it off and then I'll start doing the varnish on there. So it's a long process. And then that's not even it. Then once I get all that done, then I got all these eyebrow little things right here. I gotta sand all that crap down. And then all up here, there's just so much teak on this boat. There's a reason they don't put teak on boats anymore. Just because it's so much work. And then you got the deck boxes here. This guy I'm gonna have to redo eventually. Then the Dorade boxes over there need it. And it's just, it's a lot of work. I mean, it's beautiful when it's done, but you don't realize it's gonna cost you, if you don't do it, if you pay somebody to do this, you're gonna spend thousands of dollars a year maintaining your teak, if not more than that. So that's why people just aren't doing it anymore, because it's so much work. My plan is to finish the teak before putting on the lifeline netting. I think the netting will make me feel a lot more secure about having the dogs on board. We had spent the last week in Georgetown, but it was time to keep moving. We were headed about 40 miles north up to Little Farmer's Key. Well, we are getting ready to go here. We already put the dinghy on the deck. So it's up there, sitting nicely. I'm glad we did, because you can see this line right, well, on the other side over here. See the tow line where it connects that eye is chafed through. It was about to let go. We might have lost the dinghy at some point. Before we put it back in the water, I'm gonna retie that and see if I can, maybe put a clip on there like a carabiner rather than just tying it on, because I'm guessing it just kind of chafed through from a sharp edge on the metal. So, because it used to have, they're smooth edges, but once you put the previous owner had metal carabiners hooked up to it. So when you have metal carabiners, then you got to stick with those because it'll kind of put a sharp edge on the eye there. And so I guess it just kind of chafed through eventually. So I'll figure something out there while we're underway before we drop the dinghy. But now I am going to go ahead and raise the mizzen sail while we're on the mooring. It's just a little easier to do. Which means I gotta climb up here and open the sail bag. So I got a zipper here on a cord. And I just gotta pull it all the way down. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get. It's pretty easy raising the mizzen sail while on a mooring or an anchor, but I'm glad I checked the steering to center the rudder before we left. Oh man. Well, I guess I didn't fix my hydraulic leak. Shit. Huh. Okay. I thought I had fixed my hydraulic leak, but evidently not. Have another bottle of this, so yeah. I think we're good now. So I got half a bottle of this and I got another half gallon. Worst case scenario, I can have Bob bring some. We'll have some more in 2 weeks. I hope that's enough to get me through 2 weeks. But I'll be able to know, like before we leave anytime, I'll test it to make sure. But we'll still have the autopilot. We'll still have steering on the autopilot because, like, you know, it's further down the system. But anyway, all right. All right, we're off the mooring. We're good to go.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
It was that easy?
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to get on it.
Yeah.
I was ready to do something.
Well, thank you.
All right. Well,
we had 4 or 5 miles through Georgetown Harbor before heading out into the open Exuma Sound.
I don't understand the things I do.
Once out in the Exuma Sound, we headed on our course and I unfurled to Genoa. We were making good time headed north.
Unkind. And I'm counting on you. You can carry me through. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul.
It's always fun riding the bowsprit, sailing downwind.
And drift away. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Won't you take me away? And when my mind is free, you know a melody can move me.
She doesn't always look like it, but this boat can fly. We were doing 7 to 8 knots.
I'm feeling blue. The guitar's coming through to soothe me. Thanks for the joy that you're giving me. The joy that you're giving me. I want you to know that I believe in your song.
Well, I'm happy with that. We're doing 6.5 to 7 knots. The wind's about down to 15, 16 right now. When it spikes up to 20, like on a gust, we hit up to like 7.5, almost 8. And we don't even have the main up. So, I mean, honestly, that's why I very rarely put the main up on this boat because, well, you just don't need it. If there's anything more than 15 knots of breeze, you just don't need the main. I guess depending on which point of sail, but you know, and it's so much easier just handling that little jib. You know, you saw me when I put it up. It's so not the jib, the mizzen, how easy it is to do. And then the, you know, the Genoa is easy to furl in and out. So just really easy to do. We were doing 7.6 knots and we didn't even have the mainsail up.
Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Drift away. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away.
A couple miles from Little Farmer's Key, we furled to Genoa.
Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Just give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get
Before turning into the cut, we pulled down the mizzen.
and drift away. Yeah. Oh, won't you take me?
We timed the cut with the incoming tide and wind, so it was nice and smooth.
I wanna drift away. Won't you take me away? I wanna drift away. I wanna drift away.
We got 3 feet below the keel right now. I've seen as little as 2.5, but we have like 3 feet of tide. So that's why I wanted to come in through here at high tide. Just this little passage right here is somewhat shallow. And then after this, where we're gonna anchor is in about 7 or 8 feet of water. And then after that, we shouldn't need tide the rest of the way up to Staniel. So tomorrow will be fine. All right, so you can see this was, I mean, I just cut through it, but it was pretty bad. Like it was, I mean, it was only the cord on the inside, not even all of it holding it together. So I'm gonna cut this line off and then feel a little, I guess it's a little sharp on there. The other side looks okay. I'm gonna see if I can find like a carabiner or something to put on here. A little feed of tape around it before you cut it. You get this nice unfrayed end. So then you just burn and melt the end and then it won't unfray. A lot of people like to use, you know, bowlines or something like that on a knot that I don't want to come untied. I don't like to tie a bowline. I like to tie a halyard knot because once it gets tight, it will not untie. Just because, you know, a bowline, if it rubs around a little bit too much, can untie. So now this will not untie. Once it gets tension on it, it's done. I want to get rid of this ring right here. I'm just gonna tie it together because this ring is heavy, and the whole point of this line is that it floats, and so it's not been floating. But I mean, I tied a halyard knot on it, so once it gets tied, it's not gonna come. So I have to cut it off. Hey, what's up? You guys want to go for a walk? You guys going to go to the beach? You want to go to the beach? Let's go. I love the original sailing Doodles, Maverick and Goose, but it's a lot easier handling these 20-pound Doodles rather than their 80 pounds. See, no, Cougar. You can't. I can see it up there. There's a shark in here. It's probably a nurse shark. Hey, no, Marlin, quit it. But I don't want them jumping in that shallow water with a shark in there. I saw him swimming off. All right, boys, y'all can run. The great thing about the Exumas is from this point forward, I mean, if you got a shallower draft, you can go down a little bit further to like rudder cut or maybe cave cut or something. If you got, especially if you wait for high tide. This boat's a little bit limiting with a 6.5 foot draft. So, like, you know, I waited for high tide to come in here because it would have been close coming in here. Like I saw 2.5 feet. Yeah, it would have been iffy. So, you know, anything over 6 foot coming in the Exumas or the Bahamas in general, you gotta watch your tides. But the nice thing is, see how flat, calm this is here? I mean, it's so, there's 3 to 5 foot seas out there and it's rough and whatever, but you know, over here in the, you know, on the leeward side of the Exumas, it's so nice and calm. And then from this point north, we can stay on the leeward side all the way north, you know, for another 60, 70 miles. Or it might even be longer than that, up to like Highborn and all that. It's, you know, so you're just island hopping. So no, we never have to pull up the dinghy again. You know, we just tow it, and you're always in the lease. You're always in relatively flat, calm seas, and just beautiful beaches. Some of the prettiest water in the world. So that's why the Exumas is kind of a special place. But you know, don't knock on the rest of the stuff. Hey, drop it. What is that? Some kind of fish bone? No. Come on. You know the abacos and the eleutheras and, you know, Cat Island and all that stuff. It's pretty nice too. So, all right, boys, had a nice little walk. I think we're gonna head back to the boat. I'm gonna clean up, do some cleaning, and then we'll head in for dinner in a minute.
It's your fault they like you so much.
Unfortunately, we had to leave the pups behind as we headed into the Little Farmers Yacht Club for dinner. There was already a few other cruisers there hanging out for happy hour. Had I known they were doing outside seating, I would have brought the pups along. We headed inside for dinner. I really loved the atmosphere and the vibe of this little yacht club. The owner, Roosevelt, and his family are really nice. And the food's pretty good too. As we were leaving, our dinghy got stuck under the dock, so we had to finagle its way out. It was a pretty good day of sailing, topped off with a nice meal at the yacht club. All right, before we get moving today, we are gonna go hike there is a cave. So we're gonna go hike at a little cave over here and then come back to the boat. You know, now that we're in the lee, we don't need to put the dinghy on the deck. We can just tow it, so it won't take us much longer to get moving. So we'll go hike for a little bit, see the cave, take you guys with us, take the dogs with us. I'm sure they're excited. And then we'll get moving. It's a little windy today, so should be some good sailing. How you boys doing? You ready to go? Wanna go for a hike? Go to the beach? We loaded up in the dinghy and headed to shore. We were only a couple 100 meters away.
Tell me your blue skies fade to gray. Tell me your passion's gone away. And I don't need no carrying on.
I think Cougar and Merlin are really enjoying the boat life.
Stand in the line just to hit a new low.
The trailhead is just north of Oven Rock.
You're faking a smile with the coffee to go. And tell me your life's been way offline.
With a 25 horsepower motor and the center console, our dinghy's a bit heavier, so we normally just throw an anchor out rather than beaching it.
'Cause you had a bad day. You're taking one down. You say this.
There's a clearly marked trail on the north end of the beach.
You say you don't know. You tell me don't lie. You work on a smile and you go for a ride. You had a bad day. The camera don't lie. You're coming back down and you really don't mind. You had a bad day. You had a bad day.
It's only about a 10 or 15 minute hike to the cave.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it goes down a way, good ways.
Holy shit, Bobby. Do people know about this?
Yeah. There goes a bat. No,
Oh,
no, I think that was a moth or a butterfly.
That was definitely a butterfly. I was about to turn right back around. The one time I didn't bring my phone. It's fine. I can take pictures in my mind.
There you go. Go. Go.
Do you have a light?
No. It doesn't go very deep.
Okay.
See, if you want to go for a swim, there's a little, I mean, that water's probably really cold.
Is it like clean?
I mean, it looks pretty clean.
Does it go in and out with the tides?
I don't know.
That
Doesn't
is
look like
so cool. Damn. If we had some lights and I was in a bikini, I'd jump in. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, you need a blue sky.
Stalactites start from the ceiling because they hold tight to the ceiling. Stalagmites are the big mighty ones from the bottom. I think I learned that in Boy Scouts.
You had a bad day. You're taking one down. You sing a sad song.
All right, so made it out of the cave. We're gonna go check out the beach, one of those treasure beaches where, you know, stuff washes up and you can go grab it. Did
I'm
that
gonna find
once.
something cool.
Yeah, it's mostly a lot of trash.
I'm gonna find a message in a bottle.
But there was one of those beaches in where was it? It was like Culabrita, and we found a dinghy, pretty nice dinghy. It had a punctured tube, but it was repairable. So we repaired it and then towed it back to Puerto Rico with us, and I think we sold it for like $500 or $1,000 or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
Turn it around. You say you
It always makes me a little sad visiting this beach, just because how much trash there is.
smile and you go for a ride. You had a bad day. The camera don't lie. You're coming back down and you really don't mind.
That's the thing with these beaches, you know, the uninhabited beaches where there's nobody here to like do any kind of cleanup. I mean, you can see a million plastics on the ground and we're not even close yet. Just all the little microplastics on the ground from stuff that's broken up and hurricanes ripped over here. Man, you already smell that.
What is that?
That's, yeah, you can smell the seaweed.
Ugh.
That's probably, so that's another thing on all the, man, look how bad this trash is already. I mean, yeah. Just,
And it just washes over you?
yeah, I mean, just plastic everywhere. It's such a shame. I mean, look at all these ropes and stuff. And you can tell it's like, I think, don't quote me on this, but it's something like 70% of, or maybe more, ocean trash is
Look at
like
that.
fishing related stuff. Like if you look at all this stuff, it's all totes
Told you I was gonna find a message in a
and
bottle.
fishing line, and yeah.
Scotch whiskey.
Totes and you know, oil and water bottles and all that, and I don't know, whatever that is. You know,
A shoe.
it's all like mostly like most of the gear you like trash you see is fishing related. I'm not saying. I mean, that's just facts. I don't know what that means necessarily. But here on the beach.
Oh, this is cool. What they hung up over there. A little.
But look at the trash just.
Oh my
ringing
gosh. We should have brought a trash bag.
Yeah, well, I mean, what are you gonna do with it? That's what people do. That's what these are, just piles of trash people picked up.
Well, I mean, we come and burn it one day.
Yeah, but
Look,
I mean,
Bobby,
that's
there's a little boat.
where?
Straight ahead. See it?
Yeah, I walked over to that before. It was junk. Been there a while.
I don't like the way it smells.
Yeah, you got the seaweed decomposing.
Blech. What are all these crates?
It's like mostly fishing gear, like, you know,
Do they just throw it in the water or does it just slide off? Like,
probably a little both.
good job, Cougar.
Yeah, pooping on the beach. There you go. Well, I mean, so I say, like, it's an uninhabited beach. Hey, it's just a sponge.
Oh, okay.
You know, so there's nobody there to clean up the seaweed or all the plastic and the trash and all that. So, you know, any east-facing beach in the Bahamas, and there's nobody there to take care of it, that's what you got. So, all right, back to the boat. We gotta get moving. We got some friends flying in today on their private plane. So I think they're about to leave. I don't know where they're coming from, Florida somewhere.
Palm Beach, right?
So then they got a little 4-seat single engine, Piper Arrow, if you know what it is. I've flown one of those quite a bit. Anyway, so they're gonna fly in and hang out for a few days.
So where was the passion when you needed the most? Oh,
You guys cooling off out there?
you kick up the leaves and the magic is lost. 'Cause you had a bad day.
In the next video, we are sailing up to Staniel Key and headed to Thunderball Grotto. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can catch the next video. Our patrons and Navy members got this video a couple days early and access to the raw, uncut footage. So if you're enjoying these videos, it's only a couple dollars a month and you can join too.